They told him he was only here because of his last name. Critics said he wasn't built for the league, just another hyped-up college QB riding his father's legacy. Fast forward a few weeks, and suddenly it's the veterans, the analysts, and the locker room pushing for his name to be called. Shedeur Sanders isn't just making noise, he's making believers. From precise throws to ice-cold confidence in the pocket, his debut turned heads across the league. But what really caught people off guard wasn't just what he did on the field. It was what happened off the field. The mic'd-up moments, the private workouts with all-pro defenders, and the locker room whispers that he might already be outperforming the starters. So how did a rookie quarterback, barely a blip on most draft boards, go from camp body to the most talked-about name in Cleveland in just one game? And maybe the more important question, is he ready to take over, whether the Browns like it or not? Coming out of high school, Shedeur Sanders had the kind of talent that turns heads fast, pocket poise, elite accuracy, and football IQ beyond his years. But unlike most four-star recruits, his path wasn't about chasing the spotlight. It was about rewriting the rules, choosing to play at Jackson State under the guidance of his father, Deion Sanders. Wasn't just bold, it was unheard of. Analysts questioned whether he'd ever face real competition, and critics were convinced he'd get exposed the second he left the HBCU circuit. Then came Colorado. A bigger stage meant bigger scrutiny and even bigger expectations. But Shedeur delivered again, breaking records and silencing doubters week after week. Still, when his name wasn't called in the NFL draft, the narrative resurfaced. He's just Prime's kid. Fast forward to now, a rookie on the Cleveland Browns, surrounded by veteran QBs and a stacked depth chart. He wasn't supposed to stand out, or even get many reps. But then, something shifted. Coaches noticed, players started talking, and quietly, behind the scenes, a new belief began to grow. This wasn't just a legacy name anymore. This was a player who came to earn it. Every snap, every rep, every inch. It only took a few drives. That's all Shedeur Sanders needed to flip the script. In his preseason debut, the expectations were low. He wasn't starting. He wasn't even on most analysts' radar. But when he stepped onto the field, the energy shifted. There was no panic, no hesitation, just calm, calculated execution. He moved through progressions like a seasoned pro, made crisp, effortless throws, and capped it all off with a laser-accurate touchdown on his final read of the play. Suddenly, the murmurs began. Veteran receiver Jeudy couldn't keep it to himself. "That man's got one of the best arms in the league," he told reporters, shaking his head in disbelief. And Jeudy wasn't alone. Coaches took notice. Players started pushing to take reps alongside him. It wasn't just flashy stats. It was poise under pressure, command in the huddle, and a level of control rarely seen in rookies. From the sidelines to the analyst desks, everyone started asking the same question: who is this kid? And how is he already making the game look this easy? This wasn't just a good performance. It was a moment, clear as day, where potential became proof. When a veteran like Jeudy speaks, people listen. And after watching Shedeur Sanders run the offense like he'd been in the league for years, Jeudy didn't hold back. He called Shedeur's arm one of the best, praised his accuracy as immaculate, and even highlighted how effortlessly Sanders hit every read, including the ones most rookies don't even notice. But Jeudy didn't stop there. What impressed him the most wasn't just what we all saw under the lights. It was what Shedeur was doing out of sight. Off camera, away from the media, he was grinding, studying the playbook like a vet, tightening his mechanics, asking endless questions during walkthroughs. Jeudy made it clear, this wasn't just raw talent. This was someone obsessed with mastering every aspect of the position. Even more telling, Jeudy wanted to work with him. That kind of chemistry doesn't come from hype. It comes from respect. And for a wide receiver who's built his own name in the league, to show that kind of trust in a rookie quarterback, it said everything. Jeudy isn't just hyping a teammate, he's betting on a leader in the making. While fans were still catching their breath from Shedeur's debut, the real story was unfolding quietly inside the Browns facility. Teammates started requesting reps with him. First-team players casually began sticking around after practice, and Shedeur was right there with them. One moment in particular raised eyebrows: a private on-field workout with Myles Garrett, one of the most dominant defenders in the league. That's not routine. That's respect. Garrett doesn't waste his time doing extra reps with just anyone. But this wasn't just about chemistry. It was about trust and leadership. Even mic'd-up clips from the game revealed something deeper. Shedeur wasn't just following orders. He was commanding the energy. "Let's be the hammer, not the nail," he told his teammates in the huddle. His tone calm but firm. No nerves. No overcompensating. Just quiet confidence mixed with infectious belief. Behind the scenes, players weren't just respecting him. They were rallying behind him. That type of presence can't be taught. It has to be felt. And inside that locker room, something is shifting. The coaches may still be holding evaluations, but the locker room, they've already made their decision. It didn't take long for the national media to catch on to the buzz coming out of Cleveland. But what caught everyone off guard was how fast the analysts backed him. Stephen A. Smith called Shedeur's preseason performance a statement, not just of talent, but of character. He didn't dance around it. He said Sanders deserves more reps, period. And while the Browns coaching staff stayed quiet, Stephen A. didn't. He already looks more composed than half the starters in the league. And then came Adam Schefter, the NFL insider who doesn't speak lightly. Schefter hinted that Shedeur's rise is becoming impossible to ignore, that even within the Browns organization, executive eyes are watching closely. He suggested that if Sanders puts on another strong performance, it might force Stefanski's hand, whether he's ready or not. Dan Orlovsky was even more blunt. He said Shedeur's pocket awareness and timing show a football IQ way ahead of where a rookie should be. He challenged the Browns to give him regular reps because, in his words, this kid will thrive if they just let him breathe. The message from analysts is clear. Shedeur isn't hoping for an opportunity. He's earning one, loudly. Of course, every great story has resistance, and Shedeur Sanders' rise is no exception. For every analyst hyping him up, there's still a chorus of voices warning fans not to get ahead of themselves. And to be fair, they're not completely wrong. Even in his breakout performance, a few moments raised red flags. Hesitating too long in the pocket, rolling out under pressure when he didn't need to, trying to extend plays instead of taking the smart, short gain. Typical rookie stuff. But in the NFL, those small mistakes can turn into turnovers. Some argue that while his flashes show promise, the league is filled with would-be stars who never quite figured it out when the real pressure hit. The pace is faster, the windows are tighter, the defenders are smarter. And no matter how good you look in August, September is a different animal. So the question isn't just, is he talented? Everyone agrees on that. The real question is whether Shedeur's ready to lead now, or whether the pressure to fast-track him could end up doing more harm than good, because potential only takes you so far. What you do next is what defines a career. All eyes are now locked on one thing: Friday night. The next preseason game isn't just another chance for Shedeur Sanders to get reps. It's a litmus test. The pressure is mounting. The spotlight is bigger, and this time, the expectations are sky high. But here's why it matters even more. The Browns' quarterback situation isn't set in stone. Rumblings inside the organization hint at uncertainty. Some believe the current QB1 isn't the long-term answer. And if Shedeur comes out with another calm, confident, mistake-free performance, it could send a shockwave through the depth chart. This isn't just about a rookie doing well. It's about momentum. It's about timing. And right now, Shedeur has both on his side. Or whether the pressure to fast-track him could end up doing more harm than good. Because potential only takes you so far. What you do next is what defines a career. All eyes are now locked on one thing: Friday night. The next preseason game isn't just another chance for Shedeur Sanders to get reps. It's a litmus test. The pressure is mounting. The spotlight is bigger. And this time, the expectations are sky high. But here's why it matters even more. The Browns' quarterback situation isn't set in stone. Rumblings inside the organization hint at uncertainty. Some believe the current QB1 isn't the long-term answer. And if Shedeur comes out with another calm, confident, mistake-free performance, it could send a shockwave through the depth chart. This isn't just about a rookie doing well. It's about momentum. It's about timing. And right now, Shedeur has both on his side. Analysts are already saying he might deserve first-team reps. His teammates are treating him like a leader. And now the fans? They're watching for him. That kind of buzz doesn't build around a bench warmer. It builds around something bigger. What happens Friday could be the moment he transitions from backup QB to a quarterback controversy. At first, most people dismiss the name Shedeur Sanders as just part of Deion's brand, a familiar name with a famous legacy. But now, the conversation has changed. He's proving himself not with words, but with presence. Pocket poise, playbook mastery, game-time swagger. When a rookie walks into an NFL locker room and earns the silent respect of veterans, that's not hype, that's real. And when respected analysts start calling for a coaching staff to reconsider the depth chart, that's not noise, that's pressure. But here's the thing, this isn't just about winning a job. This is about something much deeper. Sanders represents a new generation of quarterbacks, calm under pressure, dangerous with the ball, and self-made in a league that never hands rookies anything. He's not just impressing coaches, he's changing minds. And more importantly, he's showing that he doesn't need to talk to lead. He just needs reps. Because whether or not Kevin Stefanski gives him the nod this week, it's no longer a matter of if, it's a matter of when.